We therefore commit this phone to the ground, earth to earth, stylus to stylus. The new Galaxy S22 Ultra seems like the end of the Galaxy Note line. But is it? Well, Galaxy Note, you old friend, this could be the end for you. So, I guess I'd like to take a moment and remember all the happiness you provided and ponder if Samsung is really killing you off or just repurposing you for other phones. The Galaxy Note first debuted in 2012, and it was defined by a 5.3-inch screen. Now, think about it right now, currently in 2022, the iPhone 13 mini has a 5.4-inch screen, slightly bigger. But at that time, back in 2012, 5.3-inch screen, that is enormous. That is huge. In fact, the iPhone 4S, which was out, only had a 3.5-inch screen in comparison. My colleague Jessica Dolcourt, who reviewed the Galaxy Note, described it as a kooky, cool throwback because it had a built-in stylus, and this was something that you would see on older phones like the Palm Trio, or even going back to something like the Palm Pilot. Now, this stylus was called the S Pen, but the S Pen in 2012 was pretty much just a stick. It didn't have remote control Bluetooth capabilities or advanced handwriting features. It was basically kind of like using a pencil on a phone screen. Looking back at the first few versions of the Note, it's important to keep in mind that the S Pen was not the only reason behind its success. In fact, to quote my colleague Jessica again, the stylus may have been the wildcard feature, but at the end of the day, the phone was all about the screen. That allowed for all kinds of things. You had multiple customizable home screens. You had the ability to have apps with more room for productivity and gaming. Year after year, Samsung made the screen on the Galaxy Note larger, and by doing so, showed us the path forward for future phones and kind of what phones would become. In fact, I bet for most people watching this video, the phone in your pocket right now has a screen that's larger than 6 inches or more. And also keep in mind that at the time, and maybe even now, Apple and its iPhone seems to overshadow everything. And the Galaxy Note is the most un-Apple phone you could buy, which was definitely appeal for a lot of people. The last official Note Samsung released was in 2020, and there were two, the Galaxy Note 20 and the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. The Ultra was impressive and expensive. It had a $1,300 price tag. The Note 20 Ultra also had a 6.9-inch, 120 Hz high refresh rate display. And the S Pen that it came with had a slew of features, including handwriting auto straighten, PDF importing, air gestures, and the ability to use the S Pen as a remote trigger for a selfie photo. In comparison, the regular Galaxy Note 20 was a bit of a disappointment. It had a plastic back, it had straight edge screen, slightly less capable cameras, but it did have a slightly more reasonable price tag at $1,000. And keep in mind that when the Note 20 came out and the Note 20 Ultra, that Samsung had already released the Galaxy S20 Ultra, which, aside from lacking a stylus, seemed like the new big deal phone. In 2021, Samsung gave the Galaxy Note line a sabbatical year, but it turns out that the S Pen is mightier than the corporate sword of Samsung because S Pen support showed up in new phones. So we had the Galaxy S21 Ultra that had S Pen support, then we had the Galaxy Z Fold 3 that had S Pen support, and not only that, it had its own special S Pen with a retractable tip. Now, the downside to using the S Pen with either of these phones was the fact that you didn't have a place to store the S Pen when you weren't using it inside the phone. And now, there's the Galaxy S22 Ultra, which is definitely not a Galaxy Note, but has S Pen support and a place to store the S Pen. And its whole aesthetic actually looks like a Galaxy Note, from the fact that it doesn't have the domino-sized camera bump that melted into the side of the Galaxy S21. That's gone, and in its place is a flat-looking camera array with lenses that look like ornate buttons on the back. In terms of pushing the limits of screen size, you have the Galaxy Z Fold 3, which takes what the Note was doing with screen and goes even farther with a 7.6-inch screen. Well, Galaxy Note, old friend, seems like we've hit the end of the road. We've had our ups, like the beautiful design of the Galaxy Note Edge and the fact that you added the word phablet to our vernacular. And we've had our downs, like the whole fiery battery situation on the Galaxy Note 7. I know. We don't like to talk about that. But it doesn't seem like Samsung's ever going to make a new Galaxy Note ever again. Now, Samsung hasn't come out and said just that, but to quote the Magic 8 Ball, all signs point to yes. Rest in power, Galaxy Note. Oh, and if you're wondering about the Galaxy Note 7, we decided to put it in its own separate spot, simply marked by, and appropriately so, an eternal flame. But now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the possibility of Samsung forever ending the Galaxy Note line? Do you think adding capabilities for the S Pen to the S22 Ultra and the Galaxy Z Fold line is going to make up for it? Also, if you've owned a Galaxy Note phone, which ones have you owned? Tell me about them. Throw your thoughts in the comments. Focus, dude.